welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing some tea time with Czernaaz. These are just some of the teas that I love. Today I'm actually having the Yogi Stress Relief, which eases tensions and promotes relaxation. I felt like this would be appropriate here, but I drink this one a lot. But today I'm going to talk about being a highly sensitive person. So this year I found out that I'm an HSP, which is a highly sensitive person. We pretty much just feel things deeply. We have high arousal stimulation compared to other people. We feel things deep, we feel love deep, we feel sadness deep. We're sensitive to light, sensitive to, I know I am sensitive to little buzzing noises. I can hear everything that other people cannot hear. I can hear sound a little bit more than other people can, and I can hear intensive things that maybe, it's like pretty much like just feeling everything intensely. Being a highly sensitive person has so many different characters, not just arousal. I'm really sensitive to lights, I'm sensitive to sounds, I'm sensitive to violence, I'm sensitive to anything. So that's why I pretty much isolate a lot, or I stay in my corner, because I pick up a lot of energy. I can walk into a room and I can tell you that I can pick up the energy. So I found out I was in HSP was during my holistic journey. When I started my holistic program this year in May, okay, I was already in therapy, so I had a whole individual therapist. The program that I started, like with my neuropathic doctor, you had to have a therapist, because when they work with you, they don't just work with your body, they also work with your energy and you know what's going on mentally, is because they do believe that your thoughts and your trauma or whatever's going on in your life can make you sick. So when I started it, they noticed that I was really sensitive to everything. It was just a whole different transition. But here's the thing, finding out I was an HSP was just like and it made sense. So I have a health coach who I talk to every week, who's been helping me with my diet and helping me change and cut off and just be healthier. She was like, you know what, Czernaaz, you should read this book called Highly Sensitive Person by Elaine Aron and let me know how you feel. I download the book from Audible. I read the first few chapters. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is me. An HSP is not a disorder. 20% of us in the population that are born, we just feel things deeper. I know spiritually people will say an HSP is an empath. That's a whole nother conversation. But why I drink a lot of tea is like, even with caffeine, HSPs, we're sensitive to caffeine. We're sensitive to a lot of things. I was definitely born an HSP. Reading the book, I definitely know my character as a child before the trauma. I know my parents, or my mom used to say when I was a baby, I used to cry a lot. So I know a lot of HSPs, we were very irritable as kids. And when I read the book, every character, from isolation to the shyness to the jumpiness, I was always jumpy as a child. I used to cry for everything and nobody would know how to cry. I don't watch violence on TV, because if I watch violence, it feels so real. It's like I'm feeling what's going on. Even if I watch something on a TV, I feel it's like I cannot just watch something and continue. We're very fragile people. Being highly sensitive, the first few months, finding out, I felt empowered, because I was just like, oh, finally I'm not crazy, finally I'm not feeling these things so deeply and thinking like I'm the only person. Why everybody around me thinks what they're doing or what they're saying is okay, but when they do it to me, it feels so intense, but I never had the strength to do it back. So when I found out I was an HSP, it gave me an empowerment to know I'm not crazy. And it also empowered me to know how to move accordingly. So I'm still learning. I feel like being highly sensitive might even be, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm gonna say it. I feel like being highly sensitive might even be genetic, because I'm not the only one in my family that's highly sensitive. There's other people in my family that are highly sensitive, but they just didn't know it until I brought it to the table. So it just made sense. It made sense feeling or knowing that there's other people like me in the world that suffers with overstimulation or sensory overstimulation. So I thought I'll just read the definition of a highly sensitive person for those who don't know or don't understand what I'm talking about. So a highly sensitive person is someone who experiences acute physical, mental, or emotional responses to stimuli. This could be an external stimuli like your surroundings and the people you're with, or internal stimuli like your own thoughts, emotions, and realizations. I know for me, I can walk into the room and I can feel the energy. That's why if I go out 1 month, I have to stay at home for 3 months. I can't do it a lot. It's like I walk into the room. If the energy is good, I might stay a little longer. But if the energy is bad, if there's a lot of negative energy, a lot of negative thoughts, sadness, anger, depression, I can feel that when I walk into the room. It's just the vibration that us highly sensitive people feel. So that's why we kind of retract and stay to ourselves. I felt like being an HSP played a huge role in my childhood. And now that I'm an adult, it's still controlling the aspects of myself. But it's also a beautiful thing, because being an HSP, I know people always look at the negative side, like the overstimulation, the sensitivity, the feelings, the emotions being so deep, and being in a room and just feeling the energies and feeling things and thoughts and emotions of other people. The beauty of it is we have fine taste in everything. Just the way we think deeply about negative stuff, we also think deeply about positive things. We also look at things a little bit more than others. Why I said it was also empowering, because now I know not just how to move, but I know about my diet. I know how to catch my thought processes. I know when it's overstimulation. I can feel when I'm overstimulated. For me, when I feel things, it's like a wave of emotion that comes. When I feel happiness, it's like a wave of, there's no balance, there's no in between. But I feel like being in therapy, learning more about HSPs and learning how to cope with it has definitely helped me to find that middle ground. Sometimes for me it's hard to actually find that middle ground. At least now I'm aware that it's overstimulation, that my body is doing what it knows how to do, and I have learned how to not react. I have learned just to let it flow, let it process, let it do what it does, because best believe I love being an HSP. Because even though the negative stuff may be super intense, but when I feel positive vibrations, when I feel light, when I feel love, when I feel joy, if I walk into a room and it's just, oh my God, it's like a little hug for me. It's like, oh, this is like boom, bam, yay. It feels so good. But if I walk into a room and there's a lot of anxiety, I can feel it. If people are anxious, if people are sad, if people are angry, it's so overwhelming me. I cannot talk. I'll be like, because I'm trying to figure out like what the hell's going on. Where am I picking it up from? So pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your environment. Not just check in, but if you need to take time out, take time out. I've been called Mrs. Ghost. I ghost people, but at least now my friends can watch this and read this and will learn a little bit more about being highly sensitive and will understand where I come from. So I'm definitely gonna put the link of the Audible, and I'm gonna put information about the book. Okay, so today, since we're talking about being an HSP, the tea that I'll be drinking is Stress Relief by Yogi. It's caffeine free. It eases tension and promotes relaxation. Well, I drink a lot of teas and I have cut off caffeine from my diet. Don't get me wrong, I have my days that I want a little caffeine rush. I try to do that like once or twice a month. I try to not make it consistent, and I try to drink tea that calms me, relaxes me. Like this tea is said to set your mind free with kava stress relief. Kava has been traditionally used for its power to calm the body and mind and encourage a good night's sleep. It's used to relax and find tranquility with the warm, soothing cup. I like tea, and I feel like a lot of HSP, we're prone to drink more tea than coffee because we're sensitive to caffeine. I know I'm sensitive. I don't do energy drinks. I can't. It makes my heart beat so fast. And last time I drank Red Bull was probably 7 years ago, and I just had like, I felt I was having a heart attack. Caffeine does that to me too. That's why if I do drink coffee, I try to drink it like once or twice a month. I try really not to drink it, but when I'm in my coffee rush, if I'm having a busy day, but it still doesn't feel right. It's just like my heart, I can feel just like boom, 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 boom. Sensitive to coffee, sensitive to anything, sensitive to sheets, sensitive to smell. The thing that I'm most sensitive to is energy. Being highly sensitive, you have to take care of yourself. You have to be attentive to your thoughts. You have to be attentive to how you're thinking, how you're feeling, your surroundings, who you have around you. You know, we like little babies. We're strong, but we like little babies. What may not affect other people affect us so deeply. I want to meet more HSPs. I want to meet more sensitive people. And I want to know how you guys cope with it, and what are your coping mechanisms and coping skills and day-to-day routines. Because we know that you cannot ignore your body, you cannot ignore your emotions, you cannot ignore your thoughts. Everything is like a multi-universe inside. Everything you're feeling inside comes up, comes out in energy, comes out in thoughts, comes out in talking, it comes out. So we check in all the time. So if there's any highly sensitive person out there or HSPs watching or listening, please comment and reach out to me. I want to know your coping skills. This is a platform for learning and growing together and healing together. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch up soon. Have a great day. Yay!